What have you seen out of your group for spring so far?
Really pleased. I think they picked up the defense fast. This spring for us, I think it's more about just our culture and our way, right? When you add new pieces and guys who haven't done it before, I think like that's the football part. We recruited the right guys, right? They're going to come in, they're going to study, they're going to work hard to learn the football part, but the culture part is what like the guys just don't know and they don't think about. So like that's the stuff we're bringing harder on them on, like how we run to the ball, how we take the field, how we get aligned, just what that's supposed to look like. Because that's been a big part of our success here is those little details. So that's the thing though, everybody's just learning because that's different because everybody was at this school or was at this place or I've done it this way before. So we got to break those habits and get them geared up. But I am pleased with the group.
How important is that when you lose two of your big leaders in that
Yeah.
room?
I think it's huge. And then the other guys, like, you look at Alexander Kilgore, Brandon Miazono, guys who now have space to find their voice. As leaders, as guys who's been here, who waited their turn and been behind, two really good linebackers that we can hang our hat on. So they have to learn. They're learning to lead and make those around them better. In addition to the new guys who are learning the way. And that's what springtime's for. You spend time on all those little things, and then you continue to install, continue to learn the defense over the summer. And then, camp is where you kind of start to go and win jobs.
What have you seen from, say, Brandon Booker, Zach Smith, who
Yeah.
now have a year
Yeah.
under their belt,
Yeah.
but kind of taking that next step
Yeah.
on their skills?
And those guys are young guys who are kind of like the next up group. They're like where Kilgore and Miazono were, 2 years ago. So it's nice to have some continuity in the room. Obviously, you lose guys through graduation, so you have to replace them with the new guys. But I'm excited about Booker. I'm excited about Zach. I think those guys they are busting their tail. I am not making it easy on them, because I'm putting them through the fire and trying to grind on them to create stress so that the game and everything else becomes easy. But they're doing a great job of responding, showing up every day, trying to find the details again. They've learned from Kilgore and Miazono. Now I get the text messages from them, right, where they're like watching the film at night, like, what do you mean by this note? Or, hey, what am I supposed to do here? And that's where it starts, right? Once they start to get those little things right, then the game slows down so much faster. And then they get to use their God-given ability on the field. The first year here, they're like, I don't know what left, I don't know what right, I don't even know what middle is. You know what I mean? Like they're all over the place. So for them, now that they're kind of over that and understand the defense, now I'm starting to create more stress on them, and that's the growth.
What do you like about Mark Ianakor now that you've seen him on the field?
Man, I think Mark's he's a really big kid. Like he's just big. Similar to like how Miazono, like kind of once he got through his first 6 months, he kind of grew. But Mark is just physically gifted. You know what I mean? So for him, he's another guy going back. Like Mark, like he doesn't know up or down right now. So, but physically he does have tools and traits that are very impressive. He runs well. He's a great teammate right now. He's a great kid, and he's a guy that has a very bright future. Just because he's just physically gifted. He's just trying to put it all together. And it's tough because the other guys who have been here and they know, so they're on him, trying to pull him along, but he feels a part of the group. He feels welcome, and I think he's going to eventually start to grow. I'm glad he's here this spring so we can get these practices. I think that's going to pay dividends huge for us this season.
What did you see from Zakai?
Yeah, Zakai. Yeah.
That made you want to bring him in your group?
Man, so he was, out of all the guys that I've ever just been around on an official visit, he was the most impressive individual I've ever been around. He is a man. He is very mature. He took notes literally in every aspect of the visit. When he spoke with the nutritionist, when he spoke with the weight room, when he spoke to the head coach, my meeting, when he went with the onboarding process, he took notes and then he would go back, read it, and ask questions. Like he was just very, very mature. And I think that's something we needed before you even get to the film. But just because when you lose two leaders like Kobe and Ahmad, and Kilgore is now finding his voice, like someone that's mature and that's played like that's huge on the defense, right? He becomes a safety net and blanket for a lot of people. And then when you watch the tape, you just watch the guy play. He just shows up. He just gets it done. Like it's really impressive. I mean, he's not the biggest guy, but he works his tail off, and he has a knack for the football. And the rest of it, between teaching and between him working, I was like, this guy's going to be something. And he's just one of those individuals, no matter where he steps at in life, he's going to be successful. He's going to find a way to be successful. He's driven. He has passion. He has a very calm and reserved demeanor about him off the field, But the first practice he got out here, I mean, he was flexing and yelling and running. I was like, who is this guy? Because like off the field, it's not even close. So he has a switch. It's just he's a very likable person. It's just everything about him. I think we needed him and he needed us, and I think it's gonna make a really good relationship.
Feels like in this team as a whole, a lot of the transfers you guys have brought in have been like from power conference schools, SEC schools, but your group has been a lot of smaller programs. Is there any reason for that? Does it suit the position
I
better?
think no, I don't think it's necessarily. It's just when I look at the tape, I just have to be interested in the player. But I think more than anything, it's when you start talking about culture and fit. I'm going to attract a certain kind of player, and those players are looking for a certain kind of coach. And a lot of times, like that's where we are in that market. And the bottom's not completely out, like for us, so we can take a chance and develop a guy a little bit more in the linebacker room because we have bodies, right? Some of our other spots we don't have. We just don't have enough people. So you got to make sure you get the best, the biggest, like the best player that you can get. So for us, we're more so looking for a fit and pieces, and that's just kind of how the chips fall. We've talked to a lot of guys come by, but who else really likes us and we like them? That's what it ends up in the end.
What have you seen from Alex Kilgore, and has he, risen to that level that you want him to now that he is the guy? I mean, it seems like yesterday for some of us that he had just gotten here.
I'm going through cut-ups and making install tapes, and I'm looking at stuff from his freshman year, and I send him screenshots. I was like, man, you suck when you were a freshman.
Big face mask.
But I was like, man, his jersey was really loose. Like, just looked like a bad player. But he has come so far, and I am so proud of that young man. Just how he's matured and stepped into the spotlight. You can tell he's been waiting on this moment. He's embraced it. He's taken his game to another level. And it's a lot faster than I expected. So I am like overly pleased with him because like there's more to come, but he's picking it up so fast. It's just really natural for him. It's just because, again, like how he's wired and the individual that he is, he's another guy that just, he's going to be successful. Like, it doesn't matter who was here. Like, that guy was going to play. And you've seen that. Like, Kobe and Amar were really good players, but it was really hard to keep Kilgore off the field. It's just, so now that it's his show, he's doing a phenomenal job of leading in his own way. The whole team respects him. He shows up. He's always dependable. He just does things the right way. So on and off the field, like he is another phenomenal human being that like has worked and turned himself into a phenomenal player. I think he's going to break out this year. He's going to have a lot of success, in my opinion.
I know you're not going to walk out of spring practice with a week one depth chart, but how important is it for guys to show you glimpses of, hey, you can use me on Saturday?
Yeah, that's the main thing. We talk about being productive, right? That's the number one thing. I can love you to death and all this stuff I'm saying about the great person and people, like that's phenomenal, but you got to make plays on the field. Like that's what I'm hired and fired off of how you guys produce. So you still have to produce. So we're rolling the groups. I'm mixing the combinations because I also think sometimes you play better with other guys, so that's good for me to see. Then it's also good for me to get 2 reps and then throw somebody else and get 1 rep, take them out. No, for no reason that you're good or bad, just to continue to see like how you respond. Like, I'm ready to go. I need more plays. Or sometimes instead of 4 plays in the rack, I'll give them 6 or 8 just to see who can get tired. Those are things that I need to see, that I need to know. And that's what spring's for. It's very important that you get that done. But we'll go into the summer. We'll learn a little bit more. But camp is where we're going to win jobs. Right now, I got to see what everybody can do and what they bring to the table.